Republican lawmakers are pushing back now, fuming that Senate Democrats included nearly $80 billion in IRS funding as part of the, quote, Inflation Reduction Act. Joining us right now is Joel Griffith. He is a research fellow at the Heritage Foundation. Chuck Marr is the vice president for federal tax policy at the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities. Good morning to both of you. Joel, I'm going to start with you. This has caused quite a ruckus. And the real question, I think, at this point is just how many Americans are going to be audited and whether we should consider that a benefit or a problem.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. The bottom line with this is 87,000 new federal tax agents mean that a lot of middle-class Americans and small business owners are going to be subject to increased scrutiny. And we know this based on prior data. And the prior data shows that those with adjusted gross income of under $50,000 suffer a disproportionate share of these audits. And if you look at C Corps versus S Corps, of course, S Corps are typically those smaller sole proprietorships, and they receive a disproportionate share of these audits. In fact, the CBO estimates that 1 in 4 of these new audits will actually hit those sole proprietors. And I think any of us that have been small business owners or know them, we know that those audit costs can be $20,000 easily. And that's true even if you've actually been paying your taxes. And that's why we view this threat as severe for middle-class taxpayers and small business owners in particular.
Joel, I don't think anybody, I think we'll all agree, wants small business owners or especially people who can't afford to go through an audit, as long as they're paying their taxes. The conundrum is we have two problems. We have people at the very high end who really don't pay their taxes, and I think we know that. And I think there's evidence of that. And that's why one of the reasons I think you're going to see the IRS hopefully bring in more money. That's part of this is to actually just get the money that's actually due the country. The other thing is S Corps, as you know, there are a lot of shenanigans. People are playing games.
Well, look, we know that this is going to be a shakedown of the middle class. We've estimated, along with JCT, that those earning between $50,000 and $75,000 per year, they're going to see their taxes as a result of this shakedown increase by about $2,000 per year on average. That's insult to injury.
Why are you
considering those very families have seen their real wages.
Why are we calling it this a shakedown? But I don't understand why we use this terminology. It's a why would it be a shakedown if people haven't paid taxes that they owe?
Well, it's a shakedown because even those that have paid their taxes are going to end up living with the tension, the stress of knowing they might face an audit. And if you are audited, if you're a small business owner, the type of stress that this levies on you, I've known people that have gone through this. They can't afford the extra $20,000, $30,000 in lawyer fees and CPA fees. To think that we're going to quadruple the size of our agent workforce, 87,000, that's enough to almost fill the horseshoe at Ohio State University. This is really an insult to American families.
Chuck Marr, what do you think of this?
I think we need to step back. We need to focus on three things here. I think there's been a lot of misinformation tossed out there. I think first you have to think about what is the state of the IRS today? What does this bill do? And what are Republicans saying about it? Okay. The state of the IRS has been gutted. Okay. Just gutted. You've had two waves here. You had the Gingrich wave in the 90s, and then you've had this wave since 2010. The IRS budget cut by a fifth, right? They don't answer the phone. The computer systems are held together by duct tape. The audit staff, the sophisticated audit staff that audits high-income people and large corporations has been cut by 40%. The number of those auditors right now is the same as it was in 1954. The economy today is 7 times the size it was in 1954 and a whole lot more complex. The IRS has been decimated. Right? The Republicans have decimated the IRS. And this is meant to rebuild the IRS, right? To give them the money to go out, long-term money, to rebuild the computer systems.
So
to address,
but Chuck, to respond to what Joel said, because look, there are Americans who are watching us right now. Yeah. They're worried about getting audited.
Exactly.
They're saying, you know what, if I get an audit, I can't afford the audit. Even if I'm paying my taxes.
Exactly. Let me respond. Okay. So the bill, right? Right now, millionaires, the audit rate on millionaires has dropped 70%. This bill is intended to reverse that trajectory, okay? So you have in the law, first of all, it says audits only for people above $400,000. But let's think about people.
Sir.
It is what the law says. But let's think about
that's
people.
the intention.
Let's think about middle class people, right? Think about a welder. Think about a nurse, right? Think about even an engineer, right? What do those people have, right? They get a salary. Maybe they have some interest. Maybe they have a brokerage account, right? They get a W-2 form. They get a form from the bank on the interest, and they get a form from the brokerage house, right? The IRS has all that information. Now, I think it'd be good for viewers to Google the indictment of Manafort, Paul Manafort. Now it's about wealthy people, right? Money offshore, all kinds of complex partnerships. This is who this is going after, right? Wealthy people hiding money overseas, also giving the IRS a chance to go toe-to-toe with big companies.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.